Lions and the Denver Broncos. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they've been cooking these last couple months, winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And if you extrapolate that out to a full season, they'd be 14-2. And anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Stafford on 1st down. And his first look is incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
White. Tight end right. Set. 180.
Now the Notre Dame man. This is Theo Riddick. He takes this from the 30 to the 34. On the defensive side of the ball, here are the starters for Denver. They're just below the cut line for top half of the league, 17th in the NFL against the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford out to the flat for Riddick. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And incomplete to open things up. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. The offensive starters now for the Broncos.
Let's focus outside on Demaryius Thomas. His numbers were down slightly last year. First time in the last 5 years he didn't top 1,000 yards. But this guy's been to 5 Pro Bowls. And when I think about the evolution of his career, from his time at Georgia Tech, where they were running an option offense and he didn't catch much more than bombs, to now being a complete receiver, no reason in my mind to think he won't be over 1,000 yards again in the future.
Keenum again here on 2nd and 10. Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henderson. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. First carry for Royce Freeman. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
Yeah, we're good, we're good. Run! Like 20!
They go play action here on first down. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On second down, Freeman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From midfield, here's Keenum. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoff. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now Riddick. And an alley to run. Room to run past midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Riddick light on his feet. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Tag 50, tag 50. Set, lady.
Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Zebra! Set! 180!
They'll try the air now with Stafford. The left side completion to Jones. He got 29 yards that time.
And let's face it, what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
5 yards, a good run there, and now second and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at him with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop him.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a third and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably doing...
He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. In for the score. And the Lions are going to take a first quarter lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
So that drive goes 8 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air. There's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down.
All right. Go, Doc.
From the gun, it's Keenum. Left side here to Sanders. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Dorsett on the return. Spinning away. A nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Go here.
On the ground, it's Riddick. And some room to work. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Now Stafford. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. But they face a second and long to start things out.
Boys, here we go. Jumble, set. Four down. Check.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. And that's complete to Jesse James. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point that continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 42-yard line. Here's Stafford. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. And complete to Lewis over the middle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. Riddick with a carry. Oh, now he bowls him. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Theo Riddick with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions are able to grow their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. Returning it, Carlos Henderson. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. It's complete to his tight end, Charles Clay. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Here goes the hot. White 20.
Now a play fake, and it's Keenum. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. A shotgun snap for Keenum. Left side here, caught by Clay. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Here goes the hot. 20.
Throwing on 3rd down, Keenum. And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A Bronco 1st down. Keenum hooking up with Thomas.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Two 1st downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
A'Shawn Robinson coming out of the University of Alabama. A big, physical, intimidating force who had to learn to play with more leverage. Otherwise, he was going to get blown off the ball in the NFL. Looks like he's learning his lessons after that play.
3 down. Here goes the hot. 20.
On 2nd down, here's Keenum. Over the middle and caught by the tight end Clay. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Here goes the hot. White 20.
Now a 1st down throw. Keenum. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the 1st half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
Here's Riddick. And an alley to run. Space to maneuver at the 40. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On first down, Stafford here. Stepping up, he'll try and run. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. He goes set. We're waiting. Motion.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
Coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Back to throw, Stafford. He hits Riddick underneath. And down inside the 15 he goes. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
This is Riddick on the screen. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's second and 4.
Pass 32. Set. We're waiting.
Stafford. And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions add on to their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. On the return is Henderson. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Second and 10, Keenum here again. This complete to the tight end Clay. And down he'll go at the 25. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The Broncos on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Here goes the high. Right 20.
From the gun, here's Keenum. And that is incomplete. Eric Reed, the former LSU Tiger, making the play on the defensive side.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Final 24 seconds of the first half as they come up here 1st and 10.
Trio right.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they'll get him down up past the 15. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
Boys, here we go. Watch that in. Tight end's right. Set. 180. Hey.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he's got some space here. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Strong right. Hey, go here. Check me out. We got 3 down.
Now a 1st down throw. Stafford. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Mike 51. Block it. Hey, I'm coming. Hey, tag 50 left. Let's go. Mike 51.
Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Hey, you got 3. Here goes the high.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, go Roger.
Keenum to throw on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing is Keenum on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Defense, got the lead. Yeah.
we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done. Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game, so he's really made his presence felt in this one.
Here we go. Hey, we got tight left. Watch tight end. Key to tight end.
They go back to Reddick. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell them, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Hey, tag 50 left. Set, lady.
Now they'll run it with Scarborough. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Tag 50. Set, 180. Jumbo.
From the 50 at Stafford. Philip Dorsett hauls it in. A big play there for Detroit. 49 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Theo Riddick with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Prater for the extra point, and it is 28-0. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Denver getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
And that's his second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13.
Three down.
Freeman. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Here goes the hot. 120.
Play action. Now it's Keenum. He's going to look deep down the field. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Shaquille Barrett in on the tackle.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Tight end's right. 3 down. You ready? Blue 80. 3 down. When they hot.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play. To throw is Stafford. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Tight end's on the Ringo. He goes set. Blue 80. Hey. 4 down. Hey, go here. I got motion.
Throwing again. Stafford out to the flat for Reddick. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Well, he's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1.
6 guy. Watch twitch.
And they'll run it here. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They get 14 yards there and a 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
He's tight on the right. We go set. Blue 50. Double right. Zebra. He's coming. We got double up.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And this is caught at the 8. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Welcome back now to Denver. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal.
You're set. 180.
They get it to him running left. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Theo Riddick taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Lions have got it on cruise control.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing, too.
Oh, she's at least...
She's on, like, the 5th tune at this point.
She left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Oh, the return is Henderson. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A very solid gain of 27. Keenum now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Here goes the hot. 120.
Shotgun snap for Keenum. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. And this won't get there, won't be online either. It's no good, off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 45.
21. 46 is right there. Check him. Switch.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they'll tell them.
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
Out of the gun, Keenum throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver.
Let's go, let's go. Tight right. Hey. Here goes hot. Right 20. Yeah, but we got to stand up over there. Hot.
Now Keenum throwing on 2nd. And an alley to run. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a 1st down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, 2nd half, no quit in him.
0.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Keenum will try again on 2nd down. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. 3rd and long. It's Keenum. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. Here's Marquette King now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. He has really been buoyed here by a strong running attack. They've been great on the ground.
And have enjoyed the entire process because oftentimes when you're running the football well, that's much more of a team effort. Everyone has to come together to make it work. Offensive line, wide receivers, the tight ends when they're on the field, maybe an extra running back leading. It is a really nice thing to see, a team type of thing. And guess what? The quarterback, he can get out of the locker room a whole lot faster after this game. The interviews are going to go to the running back.
Yeah, now we hit the home stretch here in the fourth with their lead. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
We go set. 180. 3, fellas, we got 3. Hey, alert it. Tag 53. Watch the ship. Omaha, ready, move. Lucky. 26, Mike.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning.
Strong right. Zebra. Set. Lady. 3 down.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
Go, Mike 51. Omaha, ready, move. Hey, let's calm down.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. The Broncos say they have it. They do.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Tight right. Like 20.
Keenum again here on 2nd and 10. He goes underneath to Freeman. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Keenum. And that is incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. And McManus able to put it through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. And right now, it's all about probably just working some clock and enjoying this victory because they're up big here late in the fourth.
And somewhere on their sideline, probably the head coach allowing a little bit of a grin to hit his face because most coaches love to run other teams into submission, and that's what they've done in this game.
We'll see if they can continue and get this one into the locker room with more smiles.
Tight end right. 3 down. Set. Yellow lady.
Now a handoff looking right. Room here to run. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Tight right. Hey, red. 3, set. Lady.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he loses the football a second time. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it, and somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
Lucky.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Lions, they remain in the hunt for a first-round bye as they move to 11-3 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to...
Yeah. For real. My is real for real. I'm in the field for real. I'm about my check for real. I'm about my respect for real. My diamonds are crystal clear. I'm shining from ear to ear. With the paper, see them lames later. Can't save her. Her stepped out, now she's saying what she really think. Open accounts no matter where we at. Eyes barely open, I never it once and she two. That means it's can't. But my explosive train to go, my chain to glow. Everything you see I paid for. Gang or crow. For real. My is real for real. I'm in the field for real. I'm about my check for real. I'm about my respect for real. My diamonds are crystal clear. I'm shining from ear to ear. For real. My is real for real. I'm in the field for real. I'm about my check for real. I'm about my respect for real. My diamonds are crystal clear.
They clear.
I'm shining from ear to ear.
I'm shining from ear to ear. Stand my ground, I ain't showing no fear. I done came up like the top of the stairs. These takers, they cannot compare. I'm in the crowd with the mosh pit. I hit the stage and it show. I'm in the game, I can't forfeit. Honestly, I'ma make more hits. Hop in the coupe and I swerve the latest. She get because I am the greatest. I stayed the same and then came out of changes. You wanna know what it's like to be famous? In public, skies be all of that. I'm ballin' like I got buckets. And they hate cause we stunt like nothing.
For real. My is real for real. I'm in the field for real. I'm about my check for real. I'm about my respect for real. My diamonds are crystal clear. I'm shining from ear to ear. For real. My is real for real. I'm in the field for real. I'm about my check for real. I'm about my respect for real. My diamonds are crystal clear. I'm shining from ear to ear. Yeah. I'm about to for real. I'm about to cash for real. Shorty got for real. If it's no mass, it's for real. I want that for real. My for real. Running the game. You speak of me, put big homie in front of my name. For every one of you lames, y'all ain't original. They all sound the same. I stay ballin'. Money like a faucet. It stay running. I can't call it. Got the bug, I think they caught it. I'm with bosses. For real. It's real for real. I'm in the field for real. I'm about my check for real. I'm about my respect for real. My diamonds are crystal clear. I'm shining from ear to ear. for real, for real. My is real, for real. I'm by my respect. Trying to from ear.